All right, let's talk about something that I know is a huge source of frustration for so many people. You're preparing for a big, high stakes exam, you're putting in all the work, but your score just isn't moving. Today, we're going to look at a different way of thinking about this problem, a way that's less about effort and more about direction. Let's dive in. Does this feel familiar? I mean, you've put in the hours, the weeks, maybe even months. You're watching every tutorial, reading all the samples, and yet nothing. Your practice scores are just flatlining. It is so frustrating, and trust me, if this is you, you are definitely not alone. Okay, this is the whole thing right here. I want you to really let this sink in. When your scores get stuck, the problem probably isn't that you're not working hard enough. The problem is you might be working hard in the wrong direction. All that energy needs to be pointed the right way to get you where you want to go. So, what are you doing right now? I bet your toolkit looks a lot like this, right? You're on YouTube watching tutorials, you're digging through forums, you're looking at sample answers, maybe you're even using some of those new AI tools. And you're gathering all this information, but deep down, you can feel that something important is missing. Yeah, so why isn't it enough? It's a totally fair question. You're doing everything you're supposed to do, so where are the results? Well, the answer is pretty simple, really. There's a huge difference between knowing about something and actually doing it well under pressure. And this is where it all becomes crystal clear. Look, automated tools are fine. They're great for general advice, for checking your grammar, but a human coach, they're on a whole other level. They understand the context of what you're saying. They can literally hear the hesitation in your voice. They can pinpoint those little personal habits that are costing you points, things an AI would never catch. It's that live, real-time correction that is an absolute game changer. So the first part of the answer is right here. It's about moving away from generic one-size-fits-all advice and getting real human guidance from someone who actually understands you and what you need. And the second part? It's got to be direct. I'm not talking about some long report you get a day later. I mean clear, in-the-moment feedback that you can use right then and there to get better, instantly. You put those two things together, the human guidance and the direct feedback, and what do you get? Well, you get what you were looking for all along, real help that leads to real, measurable results. This whole idea is wrapped up in a pretty simple name, DIAL. Direct, develop. It's easy to remember. DIAL is just about reaching out the moment you need help. Direct is about getting that clear expert guidance. And develop, well, that's the best part. That's you applying that guidance and watching your skills and your scores finally start to grow. Okay, so that's the philosophy. But how does this actually work in the real world for a specific test? Let's get practical and look at a few examples of how this approach delivers fast fixes for some really common problems. Let's take the IELTS speaking test. You know how so many people give these really short, kind of robotic answers? A super quick and direct fix is this simple three-part structure. First, give a direct answer. Then, add a short reason. And finally, tack on a little mini example. Boom! Just like that, your answers sound more fluent, more natural, and way more complete. And what about something completely different, like OET writing? A huge mistake people make is getting lost in the case notes and wasting time. The fix here is a rapid 5-minute triage right at the start. Figure out what actually matters, set a clear purpose for your letter, and then just structure it logically. It's like a surgical strike that saves you a ton of time and seriously boosts your score. Now, these kinds of targeted, practical fixes don't just appear out of nowhere. They come from deep experience. Because, let's be real, a method is only as good as the person who's guiding you. And we are talking about more than 25 years of experience here. Think about that for a second. That's a quarter century helping people from all over the world pass these exams, seeing what works, what doesn't, and what actually gets results when the pressure is on. And all that experience, well, it leads to a pretty amazing track record. The numbers really do speak for themselves. I mean, we're talking about more than 75% of GMAT and GRE students scoring in the 90th percentile, and a whopping 90% of IELTS students hitting that band 725 or higher. These aren't just little score bumps. These are life-changing results. You know, you can look at charts and numbers all day, but this quote, this really says it all. It's about that aha moment, that feeling of relief when someone finally helps you understand exactly what's been holding you back. That's the moment you stop just working hard and you start working smart. So really, the big takeaway here is simple. Progress starts when your feedback is specific, when it's live, and when it's focused on exactly what the examiners are looking for. So let's see how you can start on your own path to progress. And getting started is designed to be as direct and easy as possible. Seriously, there are no long, complicated forms to fill out, no waiting around for days. It's just a simple message on WhatsApp. You just say what test you're taking, what score you need, and you'll get a quick reply from a real person with your next step. That's it. So it all comes down to this one question. If you feel like your effort just isn't matching your results, maybe it's time to stop searching for more information and start looking for better direction.